Hello everyone, welcome to this new video by Simplilearn. Have you ever wondered what will happen if the pages of your website are not visible in the search engines? Definitely, this can be the most scary thought you ever had. But due to lack of technical knowledge, this is happening in the real world with the newbies in the SEO industry. Well, for these beginners, this video is the opportunity and the solution to your problems. To get your pages search and appear in Google search results, it is important that these pages are indexed in Google. And to get the web pages index, Google Search Console or Search Console is the one-stop solution. Before we dive deep into this topic, consider subscribing to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss any updates from Simplilearn. In this video, we are going to cover all the basics of Search Console, like what is Search Console and its importance, the working of Search Console, the Google Search Console Complete Guide for 2022 that covers all the basics of Google Search Console. We will discuss about the companies hiring the candidates with required skill sets in Search Console in SEO industry section. And we will end this session by knowing how Search Console will continue to be in action for many more years. So dear learners, if you want to get upskilled for free, then do give it a try for Simplilearn's Advanced Search Engine Optimization program, which comes with a completion certificate and in-depth knowledge about SEO and SEO techniques. Check this course details from the link in the description box below. So let's start by knowing what is Search Console. Google Search Console, formerly known as Google Webmaster tool, is a web service provided by Google developers. Google Search Console is mainly responsible for optimizing a website for its visibility, indexing website, detecting crawl errors, etc. After understanding what is Google Search Console, now we need to focus on why Search Console is an important part of search engine optimization. A website's technicalities are directly or indirectly related to Search Console. Consider you have created a website for your business, but from past few weeks, your website is not visible in search result pages. Here, Search Console comes into action. There is a possibility that search engine crawlers are not able to crawl your website. Thus, it is not visible in the search result pages. To make crawlers crawl your website, you will need to optimize your website using Search Console. Some other technical aspects of Search Console includes fixing indexing problems, sending the updated content or pages for indexing, generating search traffic reports, generating alerts if there are any issues related to indexing or any other issue, gets the list of sites linking to your website, keep the track of mobile usability, AMP pages, and more. So now it is the right time to understand how Search Console works. But before we begin this topic, have a look at the range of courses of digital marketing and search engine optimization from Skill Up by Simplilearn. You can get the link in the description box below. So now I have a question for you. What will you do at first if your web page fails to appear in search result pages? Well, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Stay tuned with this video. Even though if you don't have the answer right now, by the end of this video, you will surely able to answer this question. So Let's get started by knowing how Search Console works. To understand the working of Search Console, it is necessary to have a detailed knowledge about how search engine works. Search engines mainly works in three steps: crawling, indexing, and ranking. Let's have a look at each step one by one. So first, let's start with crawling. Search engines are hungry for content, and so they send web spiders or web crawlers, also known as robots or search engine bots, to discover new content or any updated content. Content can be an image, a web page, a video, or anything else present on the web. This process is known as crawling. Now let's know about indexing. As soon as the crawler discovers the updated content or new content, these web crawlers start storing the URLs of the content into the search index or web index. This process is known as indexing. Once the content is indexed, it starts appearing in the search result pages. When a user enters a search query, the most relevant results are taken from the index and displayed in the form of most relevant to least relevant in the search result pages. This process is known as ranking. Now that we have gained knowledge about how search engine works, here I have a question for you. Choose the correct option with respect to working of search engines. You need to choose the option for all the steps of how search engines work. Option A, indexing, crawling, ranking. Option B, ranking, indexing, crawling. Option C, crawling, indexing, ranking. And option D, crawling, ranking, and indexing. Let us know your answer in the comment section below. Now, let's get started by learning how Search Console actually works. Search Console is a primary source of information that helps search engine bots to crawl, index, and rank the pages of your website, thereby allowing the website owners to monitor the health of your website. All you need to do is integrate Search Console with your website and get the ownership. Allow the search engine bots to crawl your website and index the pages. Also, don't forget to submit your website's sitemap to search engines. Submitting sitemaps helps the crawler to discover more pages of your website, thereby understanding your site's architecture. We will know how it is done in the upcoming part of the video. Also, you need to keep an eye on the errors suggested by Search Console and solve them, else it may harm the ranking of your website. Now, let me remind you that all the reports that are generated in Search Console are based on the activity of the web crawlers on your website. Now, let's understand various parameters and terminologies from Search Console to get a complete understanding of this Webmaster tool. So without any further delay, let's start understanding the basic terminologies of Google Search Console and how they work and improve your website's health. The first one we have is performance reports. Google Search Console provides two types of performance report: search reports and discover reports. Let's first understand about search reports. Search reports help to analyze the search performance of your website. Search performance reports include metrics and dimensions. So let's first focus on metrics. Here there are four types of metrics. As you can see in this image, the metrics include the total clicks, or I must say clicks, impressions, average CTR, and average position. Impressions provides the data on how many times your website appears in the search results. As you can see here, The graph shows the number of times this website has appeared in the search results. The next metric we have is clicks. Clicks provide the data on the total number of times users clicked from the search results and reached your website. The graph below shows the number of times the users have clicked from search results and they have arrived on any page of my website. So suppose if here is a number 200, so we can definitely get an idea for very number of dates provided on the x-axis, which shows that how many times the user has clicked and arrived on the website, and the number varies from between like 200, 200, 250, 300, and in between 250 to 300. And the next metric we have is average CTR. Average CTR or click-through rate is the percentage of impressions that results in clicks. In the same manner, the graph below shows the average CTR for various different dates. The next metric we have is average position. The average position represents the data about the average position of the sites in the search results. It is possible that your website is ranking today at number 1 position, so it may rank tomorrow at 3, some other day at 4, some other day at 9 or 10, and again it may rank to the 1. So this data actually provides the detail about the average position which your website frequently ranks at. So that is, if it is ranking at 1, 2 and 3, in between 1, 2 and 3 positions, so the average position may be 2. Now, understanding about the dimensions. Dimensions are the data attribute that defines who did something on your site or from where. Here is the list of dimensions on which the dimension performance reports are generated. That is, the countries, pages, queries, devices, search appearance, and dates. The dimension country suggests the country from which the search came. As you can see here from the left column, you can get the list of number of countries. From the right side, you can get the idea about the clicks, impressions, CTR and position. That is all the metrics related to that query from which the search came from or from that location, or whatever the activity has happened from that location. Next we have is the dimensions pages. Pages show the pages clicked by user or a page that is viewed on a search. So this actually you get the reports from the search console in the form of the links, where you get the link which is the exact page that is viewed on the search. If there exist duplicate pages on the site, then only one canonical page or canonical link will be displayed by the search engines out of the number of duplicate pages. So basically canonical links are those links like if there are suppose there is a one original page and there are 2 3 duplicate page of the same page. So what happens, the original page gains the canonical link, and this page has more value than the duplicate pages. So whenever the search engine will crawl your website, all the duplicate pages may be ignored and all its link juice or link equity or anything will be completely taken for the original page. Moving ahead to queries. Queries provide the query string that users search on the Google Search Console. So suppose there is a website. So suppose let's talk about the Simplilearn website. So suppose a user may add as Java course, and Simplilearn websites appears at second or third position. So this query, say suppose user clicks on the website and reaches the website. This query Java course on Simplilearn or Java course will add in the search console showing that the user has reached to your website using this query Java course. And again, all the list of the queries appears towards the left, and all the matrices for that query like clicks, impressions, CTR and its average position is appeared towards the right in the search console. Now talking about the search appearance. Search appearance helps in grouping the data as per the search result type or by the feature. So you can get here the number of search appearance, and again the same metrics is with respect to the search appearance criteria. Next, let's move towards the dates. Dates groups the data as per the dates according to the public time zones. Now, let's have a look over the Discover Performance Report. Now here you must be thinking about how the search is different from Discover. Yes, search and Discover follow different approaches. Users enter a query to find a required information with search, whereas Discover shows the content based on what result will be best matched for your query as per the Google's automated system. Now coming to the Discover Performance Report, as per Google's guidelines, Discover Performance Reports are visible only if your website has a minimum threshold of impressions in Discover. Now moving to another important parameter of Search Console, which is URL inspection. URL inspection is an interesting tool in the Search Console. This tool allows you to inspect whether the URL is indexable or not. Some main functions of this tool includes checking the current status of the URL, inspecting live URLs, requesting indexing for a URL, viewing pages rendered version, viewing crawled pages, viewing tested pages, etc. In order to check the index status of URL, open the URL inspection tool and add the complete URL for which we need to know its indexing status. Now, to understand the results, check the present status. If it shows that URL is on Google, as you can see in the screen, this means that URL qualifies Google's criteria and is eligible to appear in search results. If it shows URL is not on Google, then the URL does not qualify the Google's criteria and is not eligible to appear in search results. You can check more details like URL discovery, crawl and indexing information from the Page Availability tab. Click on the crawl page to see the information about the HTTP request and response. If you find that the link is disabled, just hover over the page to check the reason. Now coming to the live URL test, it is helpful to test the live URL and check if it is capable of being indexed. It proves helpful when you update your page and want to compare it with its latest indexed version. Just to bring it to your notice, a live test will only confirm whether the Google crawler can access your page for indexing, but it doesn't assure that your page will be included in the Google index. Altogether, with the help of Index Coverage Report, one can find the list of URLs, which includes the URLs Google has found on your website, the URLs that have been indexed, and identify if any indexing problem have occurred. Next, we move ahead to understand about the sitemaps. A sitemap is the file that contains all the information of pages on your website. This helps search engine crawlers to crawl your website and understand your website structure and helps them to index the pages more efficiently. More the crawler indexes your pages, higher the chances for the pages of your website to appear in the search results. With the help of sitemaps, you can provide information about various contents like pages, videos, images, etc. As you can understand, a sitemap plays an important role in indexing process. You must be curious to know how we can create and submit a sitemap to search engines. Before we understand this process, make sure that all pages of your website are linked in an appropriate manner with each other, thereby maintaining a healthy site structure. A sitemap can be created in XML format, RSS format, or in text format. It can be auto-generated or created manually as well. Most commonly used sitemap is XML. Following is an example of an XML sitemap. This is the simplest version of the sitemap that we are representing here. You can submit a sitemap through the sitemap reports in the Search console. However, sitemaps can also be submitted through robots.txt file. Let's understand about robots.txt file. So let's understand the robots.txt file in short. Robots.txt file notifies the web crawlers about the URLs that they can access on the website. As there are lots of search engines, there exist different web crawlers. Thus, there is a possibility that some web crawlers may not obey the instructions from the robots.txt file. It is necessary to know how to use the proper syntax as different crawlers understand syntax differently. Thus, there are chances that some web crawlers might fail to understand the instructions from the robots.txt file. A page can be indexed even if it is disallowed from the robots.txt file if it is linked to other site. Next, let's know what enhancement reports are. All the rich results status reports are displayed under the enhancement tab. So, let's know more about rich results. These type of results are known as rich results in SERPs. So, basically, rich results can be any search results other than the traditional blue links, for example, image results, carousels, etc. You can check whether the pages from your website support rich results or not using the Rich Result Test tool provided by Google developers. Now, understanding the Rich Result Status report, the Enhancement tab contains separate reports for rich result type. Some rich result report types are listed below, that are breadcrumbs, education Q&A, event, FAQ, fact check, guided recipe, how to, image license, job posting, learning video, review snippets, etc. Rich results status reports consist of summary page and details page. The summary page mainly consists of errors, useful items found on your website, warnings, etc. The details page consists of the information about the issues, when it was detected, item type, when was the page last scrolled, etc. Before we understand how to fix error in Search Console, it is important to understand the status of each page as reported by Search Console. Each page has any of the following status: error, warning, excluded, and valid. If the status of the page is valid, it means the page has successfully indexed. The status of the page appears to be excluded if one purposefully wants the page not to be indexed, or a page is blocked by robots.txt file. For example, setting the meta tag to no index. Warnings majorly appears when the page of your website is indexed. But there are some issues with the page which need your attention and have to be resolved as soon as possible. If the page's status is error, then there is a need to pay a detailed attention over the issues in the page, as these issues prevent the page from getting indexed. Let's discuss about the errors in detail and how we can fix them. Some popular errors from the Search Console are listed below. That is the redirect error, server error, submitted URLs blocked by robots.txt, URL marked as no index, submitted URL is a soft 404, 404 or page not found error. So let's first know about the redirect error. Some redirect error that Search Console shows up are the redirect chain that was too long, redirect loop, redirect URL that exceeds maximum URL length, and bad or empty URL in the redirect chain. So all these error means that the redirections are not working properly and so there is a need to fix them. So suppose for example you have added too many redirects from one page to another. So in this scenario, search engine bots find it a waste of time to crawl again and again to the same redirections, and at that time the search engine crawlers or search engine bots ignore those URLs or redirections. So in such cases, you need to fix those redirection to a single URL. The next we have is server error. The server returns 5xx error when it fails to fulfill a valid request. This error mainly conveys that something is wrong with your website server. All you need to do is reach out to your hosting services and inform them about the issue and make sure it gets resolved as soon as possible. The next one we have is submitted URL blocked by robots.txt. To resolve this issue, you need to remove the line of code from the robot.txt file that restricts Google from crawling the respective page. The next we have is URL marked as no index. When a URL is marked as no index, it sends the signal to crawlers that this page is not meant to be crawled or this page is not meant to be indexed. If you want this page to be indexed, check the metadata and remove the no index attribute to allow the crawlers to crawl the URL. Now let's understand about the error. Submitted URL is a soft 404 and 404 or page not found error. Whenever a web page loads, server returns a 200 signal showing the success status code. Soft 404 is a condition in which server returns 200 success status code and the page not exist error simultaneously. This is considered to be a bad user experience. This error can be solved simply by redirecting this page to any relevant URL or the home page of the website. Talking about 404 or page not found error, this error mainly occurs when you delete the page from your website but the URL of the page still exists in the sitemap. This error can be solved by simply removing the URL or removing the 404 URL from the sitemap or redirecting the URL to a new page. This will help to avoid the further errors in near future. We will have a detailed look at other 4xx errors in the upcoming videos. Now that we are aware of the basics of Search Console, let's dive deeper to know some stats regarding the Search Console in the SEO industry. When you're thinking of adding a business online, your website should fulfill all the technical SEO needs which can be achieved by Google Search Console. Thus, there is a huge demand in SEO industry for the candidates having strong knowledge of Google Search Console. The average salary of an SEO expert with the Google Search Console skills in US is $53,000 to $78,000 per annum, and that in India is 2,76,000 per annum. Some biggies in the SEO industry looking for these skill sets include Accenture, Amazon, People Group, Eaton, etc. So let me know your dream company to work as an SEO expert in the comment section below. Well, if you're looking for the same opportunity to be a skilled professional in search engine optimization, then you are at the right place. Simplilearn's search engine optimization training course will groom you to become industry-ready SEO specialist. Check the description box below to know the complete details of the course and click on the link to grab the opportunity. Search Console is for everyone, whether you are a business owner, a marketing specialist, a web developer, or a website administrator. Google Search Console will continue to be the part of search engine optimization technique and will keep on playing a major role in the maintenance of the website and improvement in rankings. Before ending this video, if you like this session on the basics of Google Search Console, consider subscribing to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss any updates from Simplilearn. We will meet again in another video with another interesting topic on SEO. Till then, stay tuned with Simplilearn and keep learning.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.